Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Kashish Mendiratta. In this video of C++ STL, we will be looking at some new container, and in this video we have the container priority queue. So priority queue is the implementation of max heap and min heap. So if you don't know that what is a max heap and min heap, I think you should study first that and then come to this video, because in this video I will be explaining you how to use that and how we can use that to have a max heap and min heap. But if you don't know that, you can check that first. So priority queue basically is the max heap. We can modify that to make it a min heap, but uh, default it's a max heap. So max heap, what's max heap? So max heap means that if we have an element, so let's say we have an element, so we have pushed the elements, let's say it's we have pushed 12, then we have pushed 34. So in the heap there are 12 and 34. After when we push 53 in the heap, the new elements become 12, 34 and 53. So what it do is that it always return the maximum element from this. So if I say that this is a heap, so the max would be 12, so it would return 12. So in this case the max is 34, it returns 34, and in this case it returns 53. So it always returns the maximum element. So whenever we push some element, it pushes the element in the max heap. So this is a max heap. It's a tree, but we can store that into an array. So you can see that it's a complete binary tree. So if we have 6 and then it's child 4 and 5, and the child of 4 3 and 2, and the child of 5 as 0 and 1. So it's a tree, complete binary tree. So we don't need to create a tree, we can represent that in the form of a vector or an array. And priority queue is implemented as a vector because we need some container to store the priority queue. So behind the scenes it's the vector container which is used, and it's just modified and adapted so that we can use it as a max heap. So that's why it's a container adapter. So this is the structure. So now if we have to push 7 in this max heap, so you can see that the maximum element is the top 6, and after that 4 and 5, and below all the elements are smaller than the root. So root is the largest element and its child are smaller than that, and we can represent that in the form of an array. So now if we want to insert 7, so we know that the 7 would be the top of an element, so it creates, so we insert 7 and the tree structure is adjusted such that the greater element is always on the top. And if we have to pop the element, so the 6 would be popped and the tree structure is changed again, so that the greatest element after, so means if I pop the 6, then the next greater element will be 5, then the next root of the tree would be 5 and 6 would be removed. So this is how the heap works. So yeah, so this is what about the heap. So in the heap we have the same methods as that. We have the stack, we have the push. So pushing the elements means that we are pushing the elements into the, so for after each push and pop, the structure of the heap is changed. So if the heap is so you can see that the structure of element is changes. So you can see that, consider the array. So this is an array. Okay, let's see in the beginning. So let's say that we have 6 elements and now we insert 7. So we know that the 7 would be the new root because that's the greatest element. So the structure of this would change, and such that 7 would be here, then the child of 7 would be 4 and 6, and then the whole structure would change. So similarly when we pop the elements, the structure of this would change. So we don't need to care about that how the structure is changing, because in the push and pop methods we already get that functionality. So we just so push pop top element gives the greatest element or the top of the tree or the root of the tree, and empty and size tells us the size and whether the priority queue is empty. So you can see that all the methods are same as that of the stack. So I have a display priority queue function in which I display the priority queue. So you need to understand that we can display the priority queue only if I delete all the elements, because we can just access the top element of the priority queue. So if we need to access the next element, we need to remove that. So if we have 5 elements, we can get the top element, then we remove that, then we get the next top element, we can remove that. So similarly we can check that what's the status of the queue, priority queue. So I have used here. So I have a priority queue. I pushed 3 elements 12, 34 and 53, and then if I display the priority queue, then first it has given me 53. Then what I did is that, so when I run this function, the priority queue has 12, 34 and 53. So the greatest of that is 53. So 53 printed out and we have popped out 53. So now the priority queue has 34 and 12. So next time it printed out 34 because 34 is bigger between 34 and 12. So the next time only 12 was left. So 12 was printed out and popped and it was empty. So after the display, priority queue has been empty, so we need to push the elements again. So now if I push 2 elements and pop 34, so we just need to say pq.pop and then display that, then 34 and 12 will be printed. Okay, we should print end line here. Why it has not emptied? So we can check the size also. So let's say that here I write pq dot size, so it will tell me the size of the priority queue. Okay, so we haven't tried cout. Okay, so we haven't passed it by reference, so that's why it was not being changed. So we can pass any container means by either value or by reference. So we have not passed earlier, we are passing by the value. So any changes means this was deleted, so any changes was not reflected here, so we need not to insert the elements again. Let's delete that. Okay, now run that. So the first time priority queue was for 53. So the first time priority queue was 53, 34 and 12, and 53 was first popped out, it was topped, then 34, then 12. So when we, now the size is 3, so now we popped out the element, right? So after that we have popped out the element. So after popping out the element, 53 was popped out, and now our priority queue was 34 and 12. So it has given 34 first because that was biggest between them, and after that it has given 12. So this was a simple implementation of priority queue. It was giving us the maximum element first. So if we have to invert that, means we want the minimum element first, then we need to create a priority queue such that it adapts to be a min queue. So for doing that we need to pass the 3 parameters. So here we are passing the 1 parameter, but for that we need to pass the 3 parameter. First is the type, means we want to create an integer or some other thing. Then we want to tell that what is the container adapter. You know that this heap form is contained in an array, so it was implemented behind the scenes in an array form and restricted with some method so that we can use at a min heap. So the container of this is vector of t, because for a given type t the array would be vector of t, and after that we have to pass a comparator, so which tells that what is the condition by which an element is at the top. So this is the syntax. So here, to create a min heap, we need to pass vector of int, and the third parameter is comparator. So STL has a comparator greater int, so we can pass that container, or we can declare our on contain or comparator function, but we will go ahead with that. So now you can see that, you will see that everything would be reversed. Okay, so I have changed here, so I have to change in the function also. So in the print function, let's change that. Now run that. Now it would be a min heap. Yeah, so now you can see that earlier it was 53, 34 and 12. Now it was 12, 34 and 53. 3 was the size of the min heap and 34, 53. After deleting, so it was the heap, so we popped one element here. So popped element would be the minimum element, so two elements remain, 34 and 53. 34 was the lowest, so it was printed first, and after 53. So this was all about the priority queue, the max heap and min heap. So I hope you liked my videos. Okay, so meet you in the next video.